Morning, guys. Good morning. How are you? Good. Okay. So I attended, or let me tell you guys my name. My name is Claire Jagley, and I attended this session of Ilshim. I wasn't sure about giving this testimony because, like, I'm always scared to do it. But when Precious asked me, I said yes. I think it was God giving me the confidence to share what He taught me during Ilshim and just to share some experiences I had. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Um, okay. So some of the things I'm gonna be talking about is what I learned during Ilshim and how it affected my everyday life and the way I view things because of Ilshim and just some experiences I had that touched me. So some of my friends from Chicago had attended Ilshim uh, before. We started it here in Ohio, and I didn't really know what it was about. I just knew it was about purity. So I thought it would be kind of similar to the Hanyu content, but we actually learned a lot about the unificationist teachings, and we learned about like the family being a school of love, and just more about God as our heavenly parent, which was really nice. Yeah. And I know that lectures are really important. Um, and they help you learn about just like God on the intellectual side. But I really think that during our discussion times and when we did the discussion questions after the lectures is when I thought I felt God's spirit the most. Um, so you guys know well how discussions work because we do them all the time. And the discussion questions just really help me like hear the voice of God in a sense like through my own voice or through the voices of like other brothers and sisters sharing. So we were asked questions like, what makes God a personal God, or like, what type of person do you want to become? And it was really nice hearing everyone's perspective and just seeing how like their relationship with God is. Just like that's where I could hear God through them. Yeah. And so during Ilshim, we would be put in like two discussion groups. And in almost like every Ilshim session, Jacob was my group discussion leader. And he's a really good listener, and he also just came back from GPA, so he has all of that wisdom and stuff like that. And so it was just nice hearing like insights from him. And he would always tell me like, if you need anyone to talk to, I'm here for you. And I really appreciate that. I thought it was really sweet. And when he said that to me, I felt like I could. It was like God telling me, um, like that your voice does matter and people want to hear your voice. Cause sometimes I have this like self-antagonizing thought, or like I think that no one cares about what I have to say or something, or like people are gonna fall asleep to my voice while I'm giving the testimony or something. But just him saying that was like God confirming to me that like nah, that is not true. And it's so like not true that I'm gonna put you on the podium to talk about Ilshim. So this example is going to lead me into my second point, which is how Ilsham changed my view on things and how Ilsham changed the way I saw things and the way I see things now, too. So during Ilsham, every week we would be assigned homework. And I think it was the second week of Ilsham where we were assigned like a weekly calendar that we had to fill out. The homework was titled "Take a Selfie with God." So we wrote for each like day in the calendar like some task that we would do to serve others or to just like be able to have like a more God-like heart. And at first I thought like, oh, nah, 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 definitely not. I don't really think I am gonna be doing this homework or put it as my first priority because I have school too, and I just didn't know like I don't know if I can balance schoolwork or school homework and Ilshim homework. So um, that's what I thought originally, but like that next Monday after the Ilshim session, when the week started, I felt kind of bad for thinking that thought. And I looked at my calendar just every day to see what I had written down. And some days I would forget to look at it, but most of the days I remember what I wrote down. And I would try my best to practice it in school. Some of the things I wrote down in the calendar were like live God's word out today or like practice forgiveness. And I did do those things, but I really didn't see um, it affect me till when like the homework was like I didn't even have to be doing that homework anymore. Like in the like next weeks after Ilshim. So I would often just like find myself thinking back to the things I wrote in that calendar, and I would just like try to live it out in my day. And one time, like during like the Ilshim like sessions that we were doing when we were doing it, I got into this like argument kind of thing, miscommunication, relationship thing with my friend at school. So it was kind of like a little bit of a fight thingy, and I was really sad about it, and I just like cried a lot. And um, usually I would like be like, nah, I'm not gonna be talking to you anymore because you caused me so much pain and stuff, and that situation really hurt me. But because of that calendar, on one of the days, I wrote like practice forgiveness. Yeah, and so I decided what to follow. I had what I had written down, and just try to embody God's heart and like love like God would. And so I just really tried hard to forgive that friend, and I tried to love her even though she was causing me some pain and like some hurts. I truly just wanted to do like what God and true parents did, and have that heart of loving your enemy because it's so hard. It takes a lot of work, but if my true parents can do that and my God can do that, then of course, because I'm his daughter, I can definitely embody him too. Um, and so while I was while I was doing that, I thought of the book of Acts. It's a book I've been studying in school, in Bible class, and it just talks about Jesus' disciples giving their all to share the message of Jesus throughout the world. And in Acts, the main character, the protagonist, is the Apostle Paul. And Paul actually didn't know Jesus when he was alive, but he encountered him while persecuting Jesus' followers. So he would kill Christians, but he encountered Jesus. So Paul spent most of his life traveling everywhere to share Jesus' teachings, and he just really had a God-like heart and truly lived like Jesus did. And while he was sharing this gospel and just following his faith, he obviously got a lot of opposition from everyone. Maybe y'all can relate to that, first gen. And persecution. He was stoned and he was just beaten like really badly physically, that he was the one who like resembled Jesus the most, like on the crucifixion, because that's how bad he was beaten. And so like obviously none of us are gonna be stoned for like trying to witness or like trying to live like God. But sometimes while like loving your enemies and while choosing to forgive and embody God and live out your parents' teachings, it can really feel like you're being beaten spiritually. And people can hurt you really bad with their words to the point where you feel like stones are being thrown at you mentally or something. But the thing about Paul is that even though all of that stuff had happened to him, he continued to live like God. He continued to pursue Jesus, and because of that, he was able to understand God's heart of suffering. And he expanded the movement that Jesus had started throughout the world. Um, so just like Paul, I really hope that I can keep trying to have a God-like heart in the future. And so I'm happy like that small portion of homework, that small little thing, just really helped me have that experience. So this is gonna be my last point, guys. I'm almost done. I just wanted to end off with sharing this last experience I had with my mom and my sister. So for one of the Ilsham homeworks, we were asked to interview our parents on questions like, what were you like as a teenager and stuff like that, and like, how did you meet your parents and stuff. And so my sister and I, we interviewed our mom. But one question we asked her really made me think deeply about my relationship with God and how my relationship with God is now. And the question we asked her was, what is your favorite memory of you and me when we were younger? So like, what was my mom's favorite memory of Jenny and I when we were younger? And my mom said that her favorite memory of us growing up was our attitude going through life, because when my sister and I were younger, life like wasn't that easy, and we did go through a lot of hardships because our parents had just gotten a divorce. And my mom was kind of like tearing up while answering the question, but my sister and I both agreed that even though God did not intend for that to happen to us, it ultimately made us stronger people, and it made my faith in God become very, very deep. Um, just like when we came back to church and like when we learned so much more. So from that question and my mom's answer, I just thought that everyone goes through trials and hardships every day, every week, every month, every year. But God is never going to forsake you during those times, and God sees what you're going through. So even since I was a little kid, I just had that attitude of hope, that like helped me grow and stuff. So yeah, before I end, I always like usually when I give my testimonies, I end off with this Bible verse. And so it says here, "You are the salt and light of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown and trampled underfoot." So that Bible verse, it may not make so much sense because I remember when I first read it, it didn't make too much sense to me. But basically, in this verse, I think Jesus is talking to the people and he's saying that, like, you guys, people who follow God, children of God, are the salt and life of the world. And back like in biblical times, they didn't have any like refrigerator, freezer, nothing to like preserve their food. And so it was like God's people, God's children who are living life like God are preserving the earth. And we are the light of the earth. So, yes, I wanted you guys to remember that because you do really help like when we live out God's heart and live out like God. Uh, so yeah, basically that's it. I'm also very just grateful for the community. Timothy, Jacob, David, Precious, Uncle Pablo, all the aunties that cooked for us. I'm very grateful to you. Ilshim was so fun and I learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire, for the beautiful testimony. So yeah, huh? So our second testimony is going to be, according to this paper, a wonderful sister. Her name is Youngju. So let's invite her up.
Um, I came extra prepared today, so I made a slideshow for you guys. You're welcome. Um, so the main points for my testimony today is gonna be about the one-day fast, our second homework, and the lessons that we had. Because throughout the Ilsham program, I was able to have a lot of both physical and spiritual experiences with my fellow youth. And so, starting off, I want to talk about the one-day fast that we had. Next slide, please. Yeah. It started off great, actually. I wasn't that hungry for the most of it, but that day of all days, my friend offered me a snack, which is odd because she never brings anything. And since then, like during the whole day, a lot of people started offering me things, such as in French class when my friends were eating snacks, and they're pretty greedy, so they usually don't share with anyone. But they were like, "Do you want one?" And I didn't take it, but it was just so weird. And after that, during sixth period in lunch, my friend in volleyball offered me a whole bag of hot Cheeto fries and a whole bar of Rice Krispies. And which was really weird. And I thought to myself, I was like, this is definitely the devil tempting me. And I was like, he's trying to get me good, because how could I say no to hot Cheeto fries? And I feel like this was one way of like a challenge that God was sending me, because obviously there's no one like watching me, telling me like, you can't eat that. Like my parents, there's nobody watching me, because they don't know that I'm fasting. So I would have eaten it, but I thought to myself, and I was like, there's probably other people in my youth that are fasting that day. And also like Jesus, or what's his name? Moses, who was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. And when the devil came to tempt Jesus, the devil offered Jesus to turn stone into bread, or to give power over all the land, or recognition from his people. And I want to believe that although my experiences weren't as extreme as Jesus's, I feel like it was pretty similar, because obviously people were trying to tempt me. And it was such an eye-opening experience, because I learned that I should really be grateful for what I have, and to have self-control, and to gain strength to do hard things, and to accept the negative and suffering, to be patient in it, because it's not going to last forever. And that definitely disciplined me. And like somewhere in the Bible, Jesus says, human beings cannot live on bread alone, but needs every word God speaks. And which I interpreted that as human beings can't live off just material things such as money or toys, but also the words and guidance and meaning in your faith and beliefs. And my second point would be next slide. Yeah, thank you. My second point would be the homework. During Ilshim, they were giving out homework for us, and usually I would say that most of us crammed it the day of. But on the days that we did do the homework with our parents, as per instructions, it gave me the opportunity to learn about my parents and how they felt about the church and experiences and perspectives they had, and the experiences they had with their own parents and with God. And I was able to have a more personal relationship with true parents and God, thanks to listening to my parents' experiences and relating them with mine. And secondly, being able to connect with my friends through cramming it all in one day. And although we only gathered once together to complete it together, I think that Ilsham provided us with such a memorable experience. And it really allowed me to be more motivated about my work, and being surrounded by friends with common goals and interests allowed us to become more close. And I learned to have a strong, supportive relationship with my parents and friends, where I feel comfortable openly sharing my thoughts, feelings, and experiences with them that allowed me to grow as a child of God and as a friend. My third and last point would be about my lessons. The number one thing I remember from the lessons were the small discussion sessions that we had. And when we answered the prompts on the screen, or when we reflected on the things we talked about, I was able to hear different interpretations about the talks and to hear opinions about the questions that I had. And during the talks, I was able to see the POVs, or point of views, of other people, and this helped me recognize my biases and understandings of said topic, and to rethink my current ways of thinking and about ideas. And it also helped me to make a conscious effort in not just to hear what people are saying, but to take it in and digest it and understand their words. Because usually when David was reading the Cheongseongyang, or the divine principle, or whatever that came from, I wasn't really listening. So I had no idea what we were talking about when we talked about the prompts. So it was a great experience for me to able to actually understand what people are saying instead of hearing from the right ear and leaving from the left. And so as the weeks went by, I was able to see myself grow, and I noticed my faults and improvements every day, and I was able to get closer with my parents and to understand the meaning of the blessings. And I'm truly grateful for being able to participate in Ilshim, and I hope my classmates feel the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Youngju, for the wonderful testimony. Today, I heard a message from God from the right ear, but it did not leave the left ear. He had told me that there was one more testimony that wanted to be shared. He's a guy. So, his name is Jacob Sar. So, he'll share a testimony.
Hi guys, I wasn't planning to share, but my heart was jumping with joy. I really had something deep I want to share from this program. First off, to the kids, I deeply want to say that you guys have a home here. Yeah, because when I was hearing about your guys' experience, or even hearing Claire's testimony, tears of gratitude just started coming down my face, because I deeply felt I was raised by a village, all the way from Ethan Young to Raina to Brandon. And these are seconds that are not here anymore, but I am so deeply grateful for them because they raised me up. I remember in school, Timothy, for some reason, would invite me to church because I wouldn't come too often because I had school and sports. But I remember my first day coming for a youth group, I was just smiling and loving. I was enjoying life, just being a child of God. I never smiled so much being with my brothers and sisters as we played Grog within the chapel or played Call of Duty at Brandon's house. But it was just a time for me to experience love within the community. And I can definitely say to God, if it wasn't for this community, I wouldn't know where I'd be today. I really felt it was the village that raised me, once again, from the aunties, from the uncles, and my brothers and sisters. And so I really want to say that you guys have us. We're just a text away. And we'll wake up in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., drive to your house if you need us to, but we're always here for you. And please don't ever forget that, because I know that's what I needed the most when I was younger, just a place to be vulnerable, because I didn't have that. But coming here and and experiencing the love, I was able to grow up to be the man I am today. So please know that you have us, and I'm sure Timothy and Precious will say the same. We're just a text away. And I want to testify to Ilsham. I got to be a participant as well, because one thing they recommended, I think Precious said it, was that treat yourself as a participant. So one of my next goals to experiencing Ilsham was to grow my relationship with my parents. And you guys saw my testimony. So it was a good challenge for me as I got back home, because I know the next level of my faith is how can I see God through my parents? So it was very difficult, but I had so many breakthroughs. And it's because of that program I grew even more with my parents today. I remember I've developed this awareness, because filial piety was awareness of parents. I remember that's like perfectly. I don't know who put that there. I think it was David. But I learned to be more aware of my father when he comes back home, to prepare him a plate or to do the dishes for him so he can just rest. I remember this special testimony was when I was reconciliating a relationship with my mom. We had a misunderstanding in the morning, and I was so frustrated, and she was frustrated. And I was like, okay, God, when she comes back home, I'm going to talk to her, but with your perspective, because I want to learn how to listen, and she's learning how to listen as well. So we were talking, and, my parents are defensive, and I'm defensive too, so I was like, okay, I got to let my walls down. Let me see from God's perspective. Let me listen first. And then we were just, contradicting our points back and forth, because, we have different sides to the story. And then finally, my mom contradicted herself when I got her. And then we just started laughing, because the funny part was Mom, I just want to have a good relationship with you. I know we're growing together, but I just want peace. And from there, we could just laugh. And that was heaven for me. So from there, ever since the program, I've been working on my relationship with my parents, and it's been on the up to where I understand them, know their behaviors, and know that's just who they are. Nothing is personal. And the same with myself. So anyways, I just want to thank you for this program, because I feel it's a next level for me to put my faith to the test, and it's a growing experience too with my siblings. But yeah, I want you guys to remember, even if you don't know divine principle, you don't know true parents yet, it's okay. But just know you have your brothers and sisters here, and we're always here for you. And we're always down to listen. And like I said, we're a call away, I promise you. Even at 3 a.m., just text. And maybe I can't respond on that same day, but I'll make time, So that's it. That's all my heart wanted to share. Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone for sharing your beautiful testimonies. Can we give them another round of applause? Very, very beautiful. I am very impressed. And yeah, so we'll get to the real deal. It's gonna be the Ilsham ceremony. So I hope you guys are ready, because all the wonderful youth looks really great right now. Very handsome, more handsome than me. I'm surprised, because I'm a pretty good-looking guy, but that's okay. But so Precious will be doing the ceremony part. So let's invite her up.
Okay, so for Ilsham, we will have the community give a pledge to the kids. Nathan, if you could pull up the Google Doc I sent. And I would like to have all the Ilsham graduates line up in the front over here and face the community, please. And I would also like the community members to please rise. So this is the community. Okay, so this is the community pledge. We've also given the pledge to you guys behind the program. So I would like the community members to please have your right hand out. Please everyone participate, because we are community. Okay, so is everyone ready to start? And you'll follow with me together. We promise to be examples of healthy relationships with God, true parents, and our families through our daily habits and testimony. We will strive to create an atmosphere of love and encouragement as you grow and prepare for your future life as the blessed family. We commit to making space for you to be involved in our community so that you can express your God-given passions and talents. We believe in you, we trust you, and we are very excited to see the things you will accomplish. Okay, now kids, you guys will put your right hands out and yeah. Share. And then now you guys will have your right hands out and you guys will share the community promise. The Ilsham pledge to the community. So are you guys ready? I promise to make a sincere effort to develop my relationship with God and my life of faith through prayer and through my lifestyle. I will strive to inherit the unificationist traditions of honoring true parents, upholding the value of the blessing by maintaining my sexual purity until the blessing, and living for the sake of others. I commit to the process of growing and deepening my relationship with my parents by practicing healthy and open communication. I will strive to find ways to serve the Heavenly Parent, Holy Community, and wider society with my unique passions and talents. Thank you, guys. Please give them a round of applause. And now the participants can go back to their seats. And parents, I hope you have your rings prepared with your children. So we will be going on to the ring ceremony for Ilsham. So you'll be receiving a purity, the parents should have their purity rings, and it will be a symbol for those to wait until they receive the blessing. So once you're blessed, your Ilsham ring will be placed with your blessing ring. Okay? So if we could have parents with their kids start positioning yourselves here, 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 and then we can have some parents on stage, please. So please start heading to the front. Parents can also come to the stage with their kids as well. You can come to stage as well for space. Or the families, because it's getting kind of crowded, so maybe a couple families can move up to the stage. Unless, okay, you guys want to be cozy. Cozy besties. Okay. Sideways? Okay. Parents, can you swap your positions, please? Okay. So parents, you'll be placing the ring on your children's right hand. Yes, your right hand. Yes, you can place the rings on your kids' hands now. And then kids, you can say your promise to your parents, your commitment to them, and to your future. Is all the kids done saying their promise? Okay. So next, I would like the parents to share their promise and their commitment to their child. And during this time, the community and parents can also pray over them or reflect over them. Okay, and now parents, you can hug your children if you're finished. And now they can sit back down, and I would like to have Pastor Gloria and Youth Pastor David, and I will be calling up the kids to receive their certificates. And they will also be taking their individual family pictures as well. So family, please come up with your kids when we call their name. And Lilina will take lovely, lovely, beautiful pictures. Okay. So, So the first certificate, I would like to give it to Ariana Rojas. Including Uncle Pablo as well. Thank you. And then next up is Hazel Masuda. And then next up is Youngju Horiwaki. Mia-san, please come. And then next we have Stephen Lee. And then next up is Thomas Copo. Okay, and then next up is Genesis Jagley and Claire Jagley. And then next up is Nathan Kim and Jonghoon Kim. Thank you, everyone. My mom has something to share as well.
Thank you, everyone. Can you come here now, please? Everybody, parents, all in group. Yeah, congratulations, parents and children for the LSIM. Yeah, participants. Thank you so much. This is a great tradition of our movement. ILSHIM is one heart. And this is one heart with God, one heart with your two parents, and one heart with your parents. So I hope you will carry on. Congratulations.
now, Anthony, you can come back, please. Thank you.